Welcome to the Potty Training Inside of the Classroom class. This class is designated for preschool teachers who are working at a preschool center or a childcare center. This class is perfect for you. So I am Miss Alexis, and I am the founder of PrincessEducator.com, where we sell early childhood digital resources and merch and so much more. So go ahead and check us out. So at the end of this video, I did mention that I do have a extended version of this, so where you will get resources like the copy of our slides, our ebook, and the potty training contract and other digital downloads as well. The link will be listed inside of the description box, and it's affordable, so it's like $25. So everything is listed down below. You will get all that will help you during this potty training process. So yes, all that stuff is down there, and I will go ahead with the rest of this video. All right, so let's get started. Why is potty training important? So potty training is important because it helps kids become more independent. It teaches them good hygiene and gets them ready for school. It helps them feel more comfortable being around other kids, and it reduces the need of diapers, saving time and money for the parents, which is always a bonus because diapers and pull-ups cost a lot. And plus, it's better for the environment. Like, who do not want to help the earth? Like, okay. So let's go ahead to the next slide. All right, so potty training candidates. So with this checklist right here, we're going to make sure that the children that we select are at least adhering at least to 90% of these target areas. So I do recommend, if you are potty training or if you're in charge of selecting the students who are being potty trained, select at least 3 to 4 children. Now, depending on the age range, usually like the 2-year-olds they're kind of more advanced to go ahead and be qualified for the potty training. Just a milestone. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over a few of them. So number one, they are undressing themselves. So usually they will pull down their pants or, remove their pull-ups. So I've had students who will just pull their pull-up down because it's wet. Maybe because they have an older sibling or they have seen the other students pulling down their pants or something like that when they're headed to the bathroom or something like that. So they would just start undressing themselves. Number two, verbal cues. They will say pee pee or I pee pee or I'm wet, and they'll just walk funny. So that's another physical cue that they will do. They'll walk with their legs spread apart like this. So that is a sign that they are ready to potty train as well. They have predictable bowel movements. So they will stay dry majority of the day from like 8 o'clock to like, let's just say 2:30, but they will be wet after snack time. So sometimes some of the children, they're like dry for a good period of the day. So that is a sign that they also their bowel movements are predictable and they're qualified to be potty trained. So with them being dry for that long extended period of time, they will start developing a chafing rash. I hope I'm saying that word, chafing. I'm gonna say shifting. They will start develop those rashes. So the rash that it looks like, it's like blotches. It's not like a ringworm. It's a different type of rash, and it's because they're dry all day. So when you're dry like that all day, out of sudden your skin would get irritated with that fabric because it's rubbing off your skin because it's dry. Of course, they're crying when they're wet. So if they're crying when they wet themselves, they're also ready. They watch other children who are getting potty trained or who are using the potty, like I mentioned before, and also they have interest about the potty or the restroom. So they would just walk into the restroom, just flush the toilet or try to sit on the toilet because they have seen you potty train another student or another child or someone like that. They, like I said, they stay dry for a long period of time. They can go several hours without wetting themselves. And also they can follow simple instructions. So that right there plays a key role when you're selecting a potty training candidate. They can understand and follow directions such as pull down your pants. Now, speaking of that, they do need to have, I don't know if I didn't list this on there. They do need to have their fine and large motor skills down pat. For example, pulling down your pants, you have to use your muscle. You do have to put your arms into it. So they need to be able to pull down their pants on their own and also pull them up. And even lifting themselves up. Now we do have like the stools like for the toilet to like pick themselves up to sit on there. Now they do need to make sure they are adhering physical wise and fine motor wise as well. And also, they're showing interest in wearing big kid underwear instead of diapers. So yeah, so these are the signs that helps you guys help us decide who's ready to get inside of the potty training program. All right, parent supply list. So here is a few of the materials that the parents are required to bring when they are getting when their children are being potty trained. They need to bring at least 6 sets of Velcro pull-ups daily. Now later on, we're going to talk about the different types of pull-ups that are available, and they do have their purpose based upon the child's stages in potty training. But just starting out, I do recommend you guys to have the Velcro pull-ups. Sometimes they need to bring at least 6 or more, depending on their bowel movements. But when we are getting potty trained, they're using the bathroom constantly. After they get used to it. Also bring at least 3 sets of outfits, including the socks. Yes, they pee on their cells. So with that, especially with boys, it gets in their shoes and their socks. Also they need to have wipes, easily removable clothing. Avoid drawstrings and unfitted clothing and shoes. So with different types of pull-ups, with the 360 pull-up, it's like a stretch band. If they're going to wear those, which we're going to talk about later, they do have to remove all their clothes completely off, just to replace them. So it's a lot of steps with the 360 pull-ups. But yes, but with the clothing, like the drawstrings, I think nowadays with the kids' clothing, they have like the elastic button thing that you have to pull. They have those, but still they have to unravel that button and still be able to pull their pants down. So those are extra steps that may make the child have more accidents, because they cannot take off their clothes in time. Also, we need the parents' full support, collaboration, and communication. So with those 3 words that I have listed, we need their support. They need to be able to implement these at home. So with the potty training contract that we have, you guys are going to issue that paper to them, and they're going to read it and sign it and also follow it while they're at home, because it breaks it down by the weeks and stuff like that, so they'll know what to do at home as well. So everybody knows what's going on. With the communication, later on we're going to talk about that, but we want to communicate on both sides. If Johnny wet himself over the weekend, I need to know that. And also, was he wearing pull-ups or diapers? All that stuff factors in why he had those delays. And of course, regression does happen with family changes and things like that. So all of that matters. We do have to collaborate at school and at home, and whoever is watching that kid, like a caregiver or something. Also, later on, eventually they can wear padded underwear. So the padded underwear, I have it on the screen, and you'll see this padded underwear. So with those underwears, it's like a pad inside that's built inside. So before they go to the regular underwear that you buy that is cotton underwear, I do recommend them having a padded underwear for a while, then get the regular underwear. But yeah, so they can wear the padded underwear after they have not had any accidents after 2 weeks on their own. All right, so why certain pull-ups? So as I mentioned before, certain pull-ups works well with the ages and the stages of the child, and also for the teacher. So we're going to explain that. So with Velcro pull-ups, they are easy to put on when dealing with multiple children. So for this class or this presentation, this is for the classroom. There's plenty of potty training classes and books for the parents, but there's barely any for childcare centers with multiple children when it's just one teacher or two teachers inside the classroom. So this is what this class is for. Um, and I wanted to come here and actually like break this down because when you are dealing with multiple children, usually the average ratio with 2 year olds is between 8 to 10 and 12, depending on your state. And majority of the time, it's only one teacher. So when you're doing potty training four groups of students while the other six are still getting diaper change, it's still a lot. When you are dealing with Velcro pull-ups, it's easy to take off. Only thing you have to do is just pull it on, taping the side. Now it is kind of tricky and annoying, but it's quicker than using a 360 pull-up, which is on the right side. So with the Velcro pull-ups, you do not have to take off the children pants fully, take off their socks, their shoes. You don't have to lay them down on the floor or lay them down on a diaper and changing table if you're comfortable changing them. I've been doing this for a while, so I can change them standing up. So all that stuff reduces that time that you're spending on putting on a 360 pull up. A 360 pull up are perfect for children who have 80% mastered the skill of potty training. For example, they able to take off their pants, pull down their underwear, get on, take off their shoes, take off their shoes because they have to put on a new pull up to just say if they get wet or something like that, or they have fecal matter or whatever. They have to take this underwear completely off. Yes, it's perfect, and I do like these, but it all depends on the child's developmental stage when it comes to potty training. All right, classroom materials needed. So these are the materials that we need to have inside of our classrooms while we are potty training. So we need to have gloves. So we will make sure we have plenty of gloves, especially when we're cleaning, throwing away soiled clothing. We do need to stay consistent. Okay, make sure we're staying consistent. Make sure we're following the potty training schedule that we have set up. So all that stuff that we're breaking down, what we're doing weekly, we need to make sure that we are adhering to that. Whether it is week one, taking the children to the potty every hour, make sure you're taking them to the potty every hour. Make sure that you're logging in their information every hour. Communicate with the parents, all that. Also, you want to be patient, remain patient. This is a pivotal time for these children. And in the long run, this is going to help you with your classroom. You're not spending majority of your bulk of your time changing diapers because half your class are already potty trained. So they're able to go to the restroom and you don't have to do a lot of diaper changes compared to the other ages. So that's the benefits of having patience and staying consistent. Also, you want to make sure we have masking tape available. So hopefully you guys have like a drawer or some type of shelf inside of your classroom where you can have masking tape so you can go ahead and use that tape to tear off and label the child's bag. So with the new plastic bags from like Walmart, they're like this dark gray color. So a few years ago they were white. Now they're this dark gray color. So even if you write on it using a permanent marker that we need, a permanent marker that you get from Dollar Tree, and I prefer those better. But yes, you can back then you can write on the white one and you can see the child's name. We're going to have to use this masking tape, write the child's name, stick it on that plastic bag, tie it up, and put it on their cubby so we'll know who is who. So let's just say if you're working part-time, let's just say in the morning time, you're here from 8 to 2, but the other teacher comes in at 12 and she's like, whose bag is this? It needs to be labeled. Yes, you might have labeled it, but it's dark, so they can't see the name. So use that masking tape to label their names. So you can also use masking tape to label their belongings as well. But also, last but not least, we need cleaning supplies. So you can just keep it basic. Soap and water solution and water and bleach solution, or like not Clorox, Lysol or something like that, like a disinfectant. So you need your soap and water, and you need your disinfectant, which can be bleach water, or something that's related to that. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the potty training goals. So, our goal is to get the students potty trained less than 90 days or less. Okay, the reason why I say 90 days because some of the children may take longer than others, but we're still continuing after we're done with this program. So still, continue to ask them after like 30 days, they kind of get a habit like, okay, I gotta go potty. Let's go to the restroom. So they will get they'll get used to it within 30 days going to the restroom. So I do want you guys to know that regression does happen. Sometimes you have to tell the parents, that sometimes with life changes, whether it is a school break that we just came from spring break, winter break, or we was out that Monday, regression may happen because of a life change, or they have gotten divorced, or dad is now working a longer shift. Things like that that are so small to us as adults can cause regression. Sometimes it's just personal. And it might be because of the child. They just don't want to, or they're scared of hearing the toilet flush. So all of that matters. All right, so now we just got done talking about the other stuff. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty of introducing the potty. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Week one. Okay, so this is week one, day one. For this whole week, this is what we're going to do for day one. We are going to introduce the potty by reading a potty time book. So Miss Rachel, she has a potty time book as well. We're gonna play potty training songs. So if you are doing music and movement, and if your state allows media, like you guys can be able to watch movies on like a classroom TV, play or search potty training videos. So I'm going to create a playlist that you guys can like refer to potty training videos, and also the potty training playlist that you can play as well. So all of that will be inside of the portal. But yeah, so transition times, all that stuff. So during transition times when they're waiting, you want to read those books, and just read the potty training books when you're waiting for lunch or things like that. Two, explain to the children you will be using the potty like a big boy and a big girl, and you don't have to wear diapers anymore. So I'll say, little Johnny, guess what? One day you'll be using the potty all by yourself, and you're going to be using the potty all by yourself like a big boy, like daddy. So you have to say it in that way so they can get excited and hype about it, because this is a pivotal time during their lives. So let's make it fun for them. So number three, you want to take them to the potty every 2 hours. I know, every 2 hours on day one. Okay. Every 2 hours, we're going to take them to the potty. You're going to follow your diapering schedule based upon your center. So usually the changing the children every 2 hours is pretty much expected for like 2 year olds. During your state, it may vary, check your state, but usually it's every 2 hours when we do those potty training, do diapering. So take them to the potty every 2 hours. Okay. So you're going to take them throughout the day, such as when they wake up after nap, and you're going to follow your diapering schedule. All right. So same thing with the week one, toilet training. Okay. Toilet training. The reason why I said toilet training because they're actually using the potty, like what steps you need to do when you are using the potty. For example, number one, you're going to walk them to the restroom and explain this is the potty room or this is the restroom where you will be using the potty to boo boo and pee pee in the toilet. So you're going to explain that to them. You're going to assist them by walking them to the toilet, and you're going to tell them, all right, so first, in order for you to use the potty, you have to pull down your pants. Okay. And you do have to pull them up when you're done, and you're going to pull them down when you're about to use the restroom. So you do have to kind of help them to pull down their pants. Okay. But I do want them to do it on their own because guess what? This is how they're going to learn how to do it on their own and gain independence. So they need to also practice on their own to pull their pants down. Okay. Let's practice pulling your pants down. Take your thumb, put it on this side, and pull it down. You're going to explain it to them to their level so they can practice it and gain that experience. Okay. You're going to help them to step on the step stool. So, depending on how high the toilet is inside of your classroom, you may need to buy one of those toilet step stools so they can step on to get to the toilet. So, it all depends on how low and how high it is. So, you're going to help them with the balance because they have to turn around because you have to step in, then you have to turn around. So they have to do that. All right, so you're going to allow them to sit on the toilet for 1 minute. Okay, you're going to let them sit on the toilet for 1 minute. So you can either have like a timer or just count to 60 in your head and say, all right, you're gonna sit on the toilet for 1 minute. They probably don't get what 1 minute is, but I said it's really quick. So I'll let you know when you can get up. You can play like have a little timer on there and let it ding. Or something like that so they can actually hear, oh, it's time to get up. So you can do that as well. So you can let them sit on the toilet for 1 minute. This is still day one, week one. Okay. After the toilet training, you're going to teach them how to get off the toilet safely because during this time, they might have peed on the floor, and depending on a boy, it might it might went elsewhere. Okay, so you're gonna help them get down safely. You're gonna teach them how to wipe themselves using the tissue paper. If they have BM, of course, you can wipe them with a wipe. Now, I do recommend you guys to let them do this on their own. Like, let them try it on their own because they're going to have to master how to clean themselves. Okay. After that, you're going to change the pull-ups if needed. So if they have used the restroom like a BM or witness, you will need to change their pull up. Allow them to dress themselves back up. So they'll pull up their pants up or put on their skirt, dress, whatever. Pull up their underwear, which is the pull up, and flush the toilets after. So after you dress yourself up, flush the toilet, and then we're going to walk to the sink, wash our hands, follow the hand washing procedures. You guys should have that poster posted near the sink area, and you just follow that walk through the steps, such as turn the water on, wet your hands, grab soap, lather underneath, and lather, rub your hands underneath the running water. Run it, make sure you get all of the crevices in between your nails, and then you're going to get a paper towel, turn off the faucet, throw that dirty one in the trash. Do not dry your hands with that. Get you a clean paper towel, dry your hands, and step down safely. So you want to explain that as well. And then guess what? You're going to clean the student. You're going to clean the toilet after that student to get ready for the next toilet training round. All right, for week 2 and 3. Okay, so this is 2 weeks that we're going to use this method. Okay, so for the second and third week of potty training, the teacher will take the children to the potty every hour and let them sit on the potty for 3 to 5 minutes and follow the toilet training procedure. So what we just covered in the last slide, you're going to still do that toilet training method for this week. Okay, we're still going to follow those steps. The only thing that has changed is the time. Okay, all right, so we're going to do that. All right, so for week 4 potty training, you're going to take the children to the potty every 30 to 45 minutes. Usually around this time period, they're getting the hang of going to the potty. They're like, oh, I feel a little something. They're getting a hang of this, okay? So you're increasing your potty visit, okay? So your toilet visiting. So you're going to repeat this week 4. This should be week 4 through 6. You're going to repeat this for 2 weeks and ongoing. So you're going to do week 4 from here and now, okay? And usually by week 4 or week 5, they have already mastered it, but it may vary based upon the child. But we're going to keep this ongoing, okay? This will decrease the diaper changes. You'll notice maybe the parents don't need to bring 6 pull-ups, maybe 4, okay? Because they're using the potty more. Now, this is when I would say bring the 360 pull-ups, because at this point they have mastered how to pull up and down their the 360 pull-up now, because they have gotten used to it. So this is when I will allow that, whatever. So they will get a hang of this, okay? All right, so classroom management potty training methods. This is essential when during this time while you're doing potty training. All right, what to do when you are the only teacher inside of the classroom, okay? So, you do need to have a structured classroom and effective classroom management to ensure safety, and you need to have plan ahead activities and positive reinforcement. Sometimes you are the only teacher inside of the classroom in childcare. I'm being very honest. I have worked in childcare as well, and majority of the time I was there by myself. Of course, in ratio, but I was there by myself. So here is a method how you can handle that. Okay, you want to prepare some independent table activities or centers, for example, like manipulatives, puzzles, or playing with the blocks on the rug, or a coloring sheet, or some type of activity, sensor bin, or something like that, while you are training the other 4 or 3 children, but you're doing this one at a time with that one with those students one-on-one. Okay, the other children, let's just say you have 10 kids in your class, the other 9 kids need to do something while you have pretty much got your back turned. Still look behind you, still have active supervision while you're doing potty training and while you're watching the other students. So if this right here does get very hectic for you, I do recommend you to contact the director. Okay, contact the director. Say, hey, around this time, can you just come? Or on the walkie-talkie, hey, Miss such and such, I need help with potty training. So I just need somebody to watch him while I'm doing potty training. If you need extra help, call someone. Okay, please call someone. Okay. All right. So you want them to have activities to do while you're doing your potty training. Okay, so I just gave you a list of that. 2, place the children in a area where you're able to view the rest of the classroom while you're in the while you're doing your potty training. So, depending on your classroom setup, let's just say if this is a wall, this is the bathroom, and this is the rest of the classroom, you want to stand. This is a pen. This is you. You want to stand right here, okay? You want to be having your head on a swivel, like you should be throughout the day. If they're outside, whatever, it's the same thing. You want to make sure your eyes and ears are pretty much everywhere, okay? Just like back in the day, the teacher used to say, I have eyes behind my back. You need to have eyes and ears behind your back. Okay. You need to be looking and explaining things, but also looking at the rest of your class. Okay, so this is you. Let's just say this is the wall for the bathroom. This is you. You need to be in the middle. This is the rest of the classroom. Okay, so you do need to stay in the middle. Okay, so you're able to intervene and redirect the other students if needed. Um, so yes, but yeah, so depending on the classroom that you may be in, you may not have a restroom directly inside of your room. You have to line those students up to walk them to the bathroom. Okay, so it all depends on your classroom. All right, if there are two teachers in a classroom, okay, so let's just say there's two teachers. You guys want to split the teacher task up and rotate. Now, I like to I would like you guys to sign like the classroom management system. So let's just say like the example that I gave you guys earlier. Let's just say if it's 10 toddlers inside the classroom. Let the teacher who has the strongest classroom management present watch the other 9 students, okay? Let her do that or him do that. The other one just do the potty training proportion, okay? If you know the kids give you a hard time, they really don't listen, or you can't stay calm in those areas, just do the one-on-one. For the rest of the classroom, that strong teacher needs to be watching those kids. Okay. So basically, Miss Amy, she can take the children to the restroom. So it's one child. Let's say you need to go to another area of the building. She'll line them up, and you'll do it that way. Okay. And Miss Kelly, she'll follow the regular classroom schedule, manage the classroom, find a large group activity, read a book, teach a lesson, whatever you're going to follow your classroom schedule. Okay, just doing that. All right, so let's talk about hygiene and cleaning procedures. Okay, so this is very important. So here are the instructions to make sure you are cleaning the toilet. So you're going to put on your gloves, gather your cleaning supplies. You're going to flush the toilet. Usually it should already be flushed after you have done your potty training lesson, but you're going to flush again. Flush the toilet. Then you're going to clean the toilet bowl using your cleaning supplies. You're going to clean that using the toilet brush, scrub that off. And then you're going to sanitize the surfaces. You can use disinfectant wipe or spray that you have available. Wipe that down. Let this sit on the surface for about usually 2 minutes. Wipe it up dry with a clean paper towel and let it air dry, something like that. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning the sink, the doorknobs, the doorknob handles, including the I'm gonna call it the flusher. You need to clean that as well. Also, check the floors. If there are any spills, splashes that have occurred during potty training, you want to make sure you're disinfecting, wiping that up as well. Make sure that it is dry. Um, and dispose any waste properties. So you want to throw that stuff away inside of the trash can. Do not flush them. Another thing that I want you guys to remember, also tell your students and teach your students, do not throw the paper towels inside of the toilet. Okay? Even the tissue paper, do not throw that inside of the toilet. It should be a trash bin near. Take it to the trash can, usually somewhat near, depending on the building setup and all that. Take it to the waste basket, to the trash can. All right, how to handle soiled clothing. All right, so before we get into that, we want to walk over how to label, okay? So like I said earlier, you want to place the soiled clothing inside of the bag, okay? You should be having gloves, but you can wash your hands after whatever. Place that soiled clothing inside of a plastic bag, okay? You're going to label the bag using the masking tape, writing the child's full name or and last name, or child's first name and last name initial, or last name and initial, or full name. It all depends. So let's just say if you have a lot of Johns, just put his last name initial. Okay. If they have a similar last name, first name, like John Smith, you have a John Smith, and you have a John Sanders, just write the full name out, okay? So that will help the teacher that it will be coming in later or with you later. When you're in the classroom, there's a lot of things that's going on. So you want to make sure you're over labeling, including their belongings as well. Okay, so you want to tie up the bag, place the bag inside of their cubby. Make sure the label is viewable so the parent can see, okay, this is his dirty clothes, or the teacher can hand it to the parents while the child is being dismissed. So yes, after that you have placed it in the cubby, you're going to alert the parents that little Johnny has soiled his clothing during potty training today. So you would like to alert them that we will have his soiled clothing inside of a plastic bag and his cubby for pickup. Okay. So they'll know, okay, he wet himself. Let me go ahead and pick up this bag. And also, they will also bring another pair of clothes. Also, you want to make sure you're telling that because we want to make sure that we have enough clothes here at the center, at least 2 to 3 sets of clothing at all times. So they won't have to get off from work to give us new pants and jeans, stuff like that. So we want to make sure we have that available. All right. So communication and collaboration. All right. Communication. So I kind of talked about this before, but you want to make sure you are logging your information in. So at my preschool, we use the app called Brightwheel. So we use the app called Brightwheel. So you're gonna log in the potty activity. For example, they BM at 9:15. They would dry at 8 o'clock through 8 o'clock and then 11 o'clock. You want to log that stuff in, and then they had an accident at 12 p.m. and need new clothes or dry clothes. So you want to make sure that you are having communication open with your parents. So you'll say, please send extra pants and socks tomorrow, or whatever. So you want to make sure that you're communicating with them. Also, you want to communicate with the co-teacher. So if you have a teacher that comes in the evening time, or who's relieving you for lunch, whatever, hey, such and such peed on himself earlier and those are his clothes in the cubby, they'll say, okay, thank you, and just move on. But you want to have that co-teacher collaboration as well. You want to share successes, allow with methods. Hey, let's keep a timer for Kai every 30 minutes. I noticed that it has been working well. So you would like to have that stuff, that line of communication open. And also problem solving. So you'll say, hey, Sophia prefers standing near the potty first. So let's give her some space and let her get on the toilet by herself. So if you notice that a child likes a certain way of doing things, let the other teacher know. Okay, this will help them out. And also communicate that with the parents. Also, the potty training contract. So that is a form of communication that we'll give to parents before enrolling them to the potty training program. So all that stuff, we want to clarify expectations, avoid switching the diapers back at home. Just keep them in that pull-up or in that underwear. After they go to underwear, they cannot go back to pull-ups because it's going to confuse them. Now, if they keep having accidents afterwards, let's just go back to pull-ups and let's just restart the process. So yes, all this stuff is here. Parent communication. Let's celebrate milestones. But yeah, so and also give them praises and things like that with the kids. You did it. You flushed a toilet all by yourself. All that stuff is introduced during this time for communication. All right, so it is underwear time. Okay. All right, so students can wear underwear after they have not had any potty accidents after 2 weeks straight at school. Okay, and they have came now they can come with their underwear on. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. This is going to lay it clear for the parents. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the potty training class. So if you guys want more resources like the potty training playlist, the copy of our slides, which is this video, and more resources about potty training, go ahead and check out the link that's below. We do have the portal, so it's the potty training portal. So it also have this video on there, and it has other resources like our ebook. So it's basically like a readable version of this class, and it breaks it down in steps. And you also have a copy of the potty training contracts to issue out to your parents. So everything that you can think of is inside of the potty training class portal. So I will leave a link to that down below and all the other information as well. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Talk to you later. Bye.